Hey everyone. So today for my 100 days project, my 100 days of dickheads, I am going to be painting Nathan Larson. He is a self-admitted pedophile and racist and misogynist. He self-identifies to all of those things, and he's currently running for Congress in Virginia. So yeah, he's a pedophile, racist, and misogynist who is running for Congress. This is the state of our politics in the U.S. I it's not going to be hard to make him look super creepy. This guy is such a creeper. So anyway, this is yesterday's dickhead of the day, Brian Kilmeade, the Mister They Aren't Our Children dude. Sign that. Not that I really want my name associated with Brian Kilmeade or Nathan Larson, but I'm gonna sketch him and I'm gonna make him look terrible. So anyway, today I am using a vintage Eberhard Faber ebony pencil, which is the only version of the ebony pencil. This is an older one. It's made out of cedar, and it's very nice. The old Eberhard Faber ebony pencils were fabulous. The new ebony pencils are garbage and not worth the price you pay for them. But ebony, antique, excellent. I don't remember who sent this to me. Someone sent me a bunch of the vintage Eberhard Faber ebony pencils because I had complained about the fact that the new ones suck. So anyway, I'm gonna waste my pencil on Nathan Larson, this shitheel. Um, so yeah, I can see the chat. So if anyone has any questions or comments, you can leave them. Um, so anyway, let me draw this pedophile. And he admits it. He tells people, "I'm a pedophile." That's ugh. That's not something I think anyone should ever really admit to. And if anyone I can't play music, so what you're hearing in the background is my fan. Um, and if you would like to listen along to the music that I am listening to on my headphones, I posted a link on Twitter and Facebook. I don't think I got the Comfortable Shoes page though, but you can find it on Twitter. I'm listening to my anger mix. I mean, can you imagine if there was ever a time where an open pedophile could have run for Congress without it being? I mean, this is a joke for the majority of the country, but is it down in Virginia? I don't know. I want to give Virginians more credit than that. And at some point while I'm sketching here, my wife might text me. I don't know what that's going to do to the video. I have to go and pick her up at the train station. But usually she texts me when she's leaving the office, so I know about when I need to be ready to go and pick her up at the train. So I gotta say, even though this pencil is an antique, it still smells really strongly of cedar. Um, like I just sharpened it up. You probably heard it at the beginning of the video. Um, and it smells really, really nice, actually. Nice strong cedar odor. I think I made his eyes a little too close together. Oh well, let's slide that one over like that. Hmm. Like, I wonder who told him, hey, you know what you ought to do? Now that everyone knows you're a pedophile, why don't you run for Congress? Like, who said that would be, like, which one of his family members or friends was like, you know, you should run for Congress? You know, what's the saying? Oh, to have the um I don't know. I lost it there. Um, audacity of a mediocre white guy. I mean, this guy's even less than mediocre. He has such a baby face too. Like it's all soft curves and no wrinkles yet. He's going bald. He does have a nice big chrome dome for me to draw. All right. I'm going to use my really old Liquitex Kolinsky Plus fan brush for the only thing a fan brush is useful for, and that is brushing the crumbs of an eraser off my page. So, let me get my brushes. So I'm going to be blocking the yellows and the big pieces of color in with a Princeton snap. I'm not sure. Yeah, there you can go. 1/2 inch stroke, which is their flat brush. Um, One of the things that I really like about the Princeton snap brushes is that they are ridiculously cheap for how well they perform. So these are really great $5 brushes that do really well for how inexpensive they are. I'm always really pleased with how well they snap back and how well they point for how inexpensive and cheap they are. Still got a piece of eraser bit in there. So I'm switching over to a number 10 Snap by Princeton. It's a round brush with white bristles. This points really well, but I'm not going to be pointing with it quite yet. Be adding some darker color to this. So you didn't catch the video yesterday. Part of what I'm doing with this project is I am using up some of the color in my old palettes that I don't remember what I have in them. I went through a spending binge on palettes a couple of years ago, and you know, I always keep a lot of watercolors on hand because it's one of the primary things that I work in. So when I buy a new palette, I immediately like put a bunch of paint into it and load it up. And so all of these palettes have really expensive watercolors in them, and I have no idea what watercolors are in here, other than the fact that they're probably Holbein or Holbein. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I could look it up, but that would be more effort than I'm really wanting to expend in this moment of time. Yeah, so anyway, I've got all these palettes with really nice watercolors, and I don't know what watercolors are in each palette, so I'm basically just using the colors that are in these palettes to paint these, you know, throwaway little practice sketches, if you will. Really, I don't have to do a lot to make this dude look creepy, because the creep factor just jumps off the page in this official portrait here. Tighten that up as it dries a little bit more. And around the nose too, because that'll blur out a bit more. Alright, let me add some hair here. So this is Red Earth. iron oxide maybe. Which, when combined with indigo, or one of the other dark shades, or one of the other dark shades of blue that I have on my palette here, makes a really, really intense and kind of lovely gray. Which I'm going to let blur. I'm putting it on really thick so that when I do finally add the background color of green, which is what I'm using with all of these dudes and ladies, I keep calling them dude bros, but there are a lot of dickheads that are women. I did Sanders and Nielsen. What else did I do? There's another woman. Oh yeah, Lee Valentine. So there are quite a few female dickheads, which is interesting. I don't know why. I'd like to see women be a little better than that, but apparently we're not. We're kind of crappy too. Or I should say Republican and right-winger. I shouldn't say Republican because I know a lot of Republicans who aren't awful people. But I think a lot of the Republicans that I know are leaving the party because they're fed up and feel like they're not being accurately represented by the party as it is right now. But that's a whole other ball of wax. Okay. Let me put some of that background in. This kind of went pretty fast. I gotta go back in and put some more detail in. But get that hair blurring out into the background. Yeah, that's kind of lovely. Look at how he's blurring. I love that. That's pretty much my favorite part of painting these dudes, is watching what happens when I add the green, the background coloring, to and letting it blur and smear around there. I mean, it's also pretty representative of their ability to be corrupted by money. There's a metaphor here, man. It has meaning, dude. Or so I tell myself. But yeah, look at that. I love that. Look at how it flows. Alright, so I'm going to switch over to doing some detail. I'm going to use some blue for the detail. This is a number 4 snap liner, and it does actually pretty well. I'm going to put some blue into his eyeballs because he is again blonde and blue-eyed. So I'm actually pretty happy with this liner brush. I mean, it's doing a great job of snapping back, even though I'm kind of abusing it right now. Never supposed to mix with a liner brush, so I've been told. But I'm mixing with it, and it snaps back really well. So I'm mixing, well, that's burnt sienna. I don't remember what color it is. And it's an earthed color. Anyway, mixing that with a shade of blue makes a really, really nice shadow color. It's kind of on the greenish edge of things. But it feels like a real shadow when you use it. I don't know if that makes sense. I like how that blurred out. Although not up in here, that could have been tighter. But the whole idea behind this is not so much that I'm making great portraiture here. It's more that I am relaxing a little bit and coping with all of the garbage that's going on in politics right now. I don't know about anyone else, but this is, I don't know, kind of horrible to me. I'm sure it's horrible to many people too. Alright, I'm going to switch over to a number 4 snap round, which is very stained. The colors that I use with this one are very rough on it. I'm going to pull back some color here, even though those are some of the best parts. I'm going to leave that one there because I like it too much. And I'm going to make his lips very, very pink, because they're quite pink in real life. And shiny. He has super shiny lips. If I put enough pigment down, the watercolors would shine as they dry, but I don't want to do that with him. I don't want to waste that much color on his ugly mug. I'm going to lift some color out of his ear there. Alright. Okay, so there we have, actually, you know what, I'm gonna add some pink to his shirt, because I think he wouldn't like that. This is probably Quin Magenta. Could be wrong. Alright, there we go. That is Nathan Larson, today's dickhead of the day. I got some really cool watercolor stuff going on in that part of his face, that eyeball, man, that's evil looking, and some really cool stuff over here in the background, and that's going to be really cool too. Anyway, some really cool watercolor effects going on. Yeah. So he's today's dickhead of the day, and so I'm finished. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you're just discovering Comfortable Shoes Studio, subscribe so you will be notified when I do more of these live videos. I think I have 90 more of them to go. I'll count for the next video and I'll let you know for sure how many dickheads I have sketched and painted live, or not live, but because I've done some of them on Instagram and Facebook, and some of them I just shot pictures of afterwards. So subscribe and head over to Ko-fi.com/Harper, and you can follow me there. I keep an update of when I am going to post a video or going to go live. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Original LC Harper, and I'm on Facebook at Comfortable Shoe Studio. I post to all of those when I'm going to do a live video. Feel free to ask me any questions during the live videos, and I will try and answer them as I paint. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe. If you really like what I'm doing, head over to Ko-fi.com /Harper and throw me a couple bucks and I'll drink a cup of coffee on air. Well, I'll have to do